Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? What appropriate shirt I have on? The one that Rolling got me says, "Zombies, they love you for what's on the inside." I'm going to be reviewing a classic, one of my personal favorites from, it said 81, but 8081, Dr. Butcher MD. And the Italian title of this was Zombie Holocaust. And I mean, it's not truly there's zombies in it. It's classified as a zombie movie, but not a true zombie film. So I think Zombie Holocaust is a little bit not off-putting because it's not a full zombie film. There's a lot of stuff in it. A cult, which is kind of like a little bit in New York, a cult, cannibals, zombies, and a mad scientist. And it's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite movies. Now I know it more effectively on the term under the title Dr. Butcher MD, and it came out, and I have my own personal history behind it. Um, and the one thing with a lot of these Italian gore films, like Zombie, The Beyond, most of Fulci films are Argento films, and they had like that thing that said like this film is not has no scenes of while this film is has no uh, nothing sexual in it. It has scenes that might be considered shocking. No wonder 18 or 17 will be admitted. And usually it's unrated. Now this one got an R rating, even though it falls under that category. It has a ton of gore in it. Now a lot of times when these movies come to America, they're cut out. They censor a lot of stuff, and mostly it's gore and stuff. This is one that I remember reading in. John and I had a little argument about it. He never said. He said, "Well, I heard this one was edited really bad." Well, technically, I read a story. It was released through Aquarius, and they made a lot of money on this. And they usually Aquarius usually release a lot of the Bruce Lee movies, like what was that Fist of Fear, Touch of Death, which is a weird movie, and also Bruce Lee's Risen from the Grave. Not like the traditional ones, but the exploitation ones with them people playing them. They made a ton of money on it, and then they started to release Dr. Butcher MD. And I remember reading the article, and they said they did not remove any gore. Was not removed. I'm not into any censoring, but they said they tightened up the film. They said there was like some scenes where people like driving around talking forever about nothing, and they cut a few of those out. And they actually added scenes of an unfinished American film at the very beginning, a zombie film where they see like this guy, kind of grave Snuff Maximus, the guy, and he walks around New York and says terror grips the city. And they said they added like some of a creepier soundtrack. I remember how it started out, and it's pretty effective. Now my memories of the film was I remember seeing ads for it, and I don't know if I might have seen one or two commercials for it. And there's an ad, there's a trailer for it. It's really neat. And actually, years later, when I started watching, I found like old episodes of sneak previews on IMDb. They had Dogs of the Week, and Gene Siskel of course, had this one, but he called it Dr. Butcher. Dr. Butcher MD. MD stands for medical deviant. And he said he hated it, of course. And my memories of the film was I always wanted to see it, and it was on. I know it was on Paragon Video, along with Gates of Hell was on that one too. And I remember when I finally got it, I was watching it. When my sister was there, and also her friend Dawn Basamus, and we watched the movie together. I think my sister Dawn Basamus, I don't know if they liked it or they hated it. I loved it. And it starts out, like I said, that unreleased scene from this unfinished film by Ray Frumps or whatever his name is. A zombie walks through New York and says terror grips the city. And it starts off in New York, this anatomy class. And you see this guy, the creepy music, and you see this guy come in and and go to the cadaver and saw a hand off and take it with him. And you say, and it's like, when the next day in anatomy class, they went to do the bite, and they were saying, and the guy was freaking out that they took the hand and stuff. Then late at night, you see like someone takes the heart and starts to eat it. He's about ready to eat, like, ah, and then they grab the guy, and then he runs. My favorite blooper of any movie, and it's kept in the film. He jumps out the window, right, and you see him go, and then you see him go all the way, and there was a mannequin. He hits the ground, his arm flies off by accident, the mannequin arm, and then you see close up, and he's like his arm right there. It's so funny. My favorite blooper of all time. And with all this weird stuff happening, you see this logo, and then this one girl that belongs to the Cato tribe, and she says she remembers going there as a kid. And she actually had a sacrificial knife from there, and it ends up getting stolen. And then her and Ian McKellen, a very famous English actor, just like Christopher George, became in some of these movies. My dad's like, "What's Christopher George doing in this piece of crap?" And Ian McCall was in a couple of these movies. He was in the Lucio Fulci zombie movie. He was in Alien Contamination, another one of my all-time favorites. And this one, and then Christopher George was in a ton of movies. He was in like Gates of Hell, Pieces, along with Linda Day George, Mortuary, Graduation Day. He was a jerk in Graduation Day. And the weird thing with Graduation Day, I remember seeing on Good Bad Flex, he asked if he could, he said his niece wanted to get into the business. And he asked if they'd give his niece a chance. And she had a little small acting gig. And I didn't know about this. His niece was actually Vanna White, who went on to fame and fortune, becoming the letter girl from, letter girl sounds like letter people, the girl who'd spin and Wheel of Fortune. And she was also in that, they did a movie, Venus, Goddess of Love, which I finally saw a TV movie with her in it. But I mean, they go to this island. And the island, you see the doctor, and he said, okay, we're going to take, and there's a series of islands, we're going to take you to Cato. And then it wasn't the right one. Then they finally get to it, and it was a dangerous island full of cannibals. And there's lots of gore in it. And the gore is pretty repellent. It's really very effective. I don't want to give away spoilers, but it's one of my favorite movies. I absolutely love Dr. Butcher, MD. Now, the Italian version, I mean, the only thing uncut with that is they didn't have that scene with that unreleased scene of an American movie, and then they just had a couple more scenes of dialogue in it, pretty much, and the soundtrack is different. That's pretty much it. But I think a lot of times, you go to find it, they'll play the cut of Zombie Holocaust instead of Dr. Butcher MD, the old one. And I saw it on Popcorn Flicks. That, in my opinion, that's the one to see. Zombie Holocaust, I don't know, the tone is different. It's not as much fun. I think they tightened up the movie, and then putting that scene from the American film with, they really get you in the mood for the movie, in my opinion. I know, Dave Parks, I don't know why anyone would like the original Grindhouse. I like the Grindhouse version better on Dr. Butcher MD. That's the one I'm used to. And I give Dr. MD a full-on 10 out of 10. I can't remember if my sister liked the movie or not. I can't remember if Dawn liked the movie or not. But Dawn said she remembers watching the movie. I don't know if she liked it. I can't remember if my sister liked it. I'm going to send this link to my sister. And May Dawn, I can't remember her last name now. And asked her thoughts if they liked the movie. I can't remember. I think my sister liked it or hated it. I can't remember. But Dr. Butcher MD is one of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely loved it. I give a full-on 10 out of 10. I love the film. So I hope you like this video, everybody. Until next time, please, take care, my Legion. I think that's about everything. My dad never saw it, though. I mean, I think that's about everything. I remember The Mad Scientist. I remember I had some problems with someone at the Dollar General, Family Dollar in Bragg Boulevard on Fort Dietrich, Maryland. I mean, not Fort Detrick, Maryland, North Carolina, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And I got caught with this movie, and it didn't work at all, and I returned it, and they were all pissed off at me. And the guy that said "Don't come back here" looked a lot like the asshole that played the mad scientist in that movie, Dr. Butcher, M.D. And that's not like, and that's not spoiling about the mad scientist, because you know there's a mad doctor that says Dr. Butcher, M.D., so you know there's a mad doctor in there. So I want to include that too. Yeah, that guy was a real asshole. Hope you like this movie, everybody. And then about like a month or two later, I went back in there and no one knew who I was. But I mean, that was the first experience in one of those dollar stores. It was okay. I mean, I prefer Dollar Tree better, you know. But I mean, I never been in like a Family Dollar, Dollar General until like, when did I go in there? Yeah, 1990 or 91 on Bragg Boulevard. That's the first time I've been to one of those places. And I saw them all over the place. Well, they popped up out of nowhere when I went back home, you know. So hope you liked this video, everybody. Till next time, please, take care, my legion.